is Fox 55 News, first at 10.
Good evening. Thank you for staying up with us. As you join us tonight, a man is in custody after Fort Wayne police were called to West Main Street about that man firing gunshots.
The victim was seriously injured.
Yeah, we're still working on getting more information for you, but here's what we know so far. It happened just before 8 o'clock tonight, and the victim was rushed to the hospital. This is the area we're talking about.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Get back!
Yeah, that video is hard to watch, but I want to break it down for you. Let's slow this down. Guzman shot a total of 6 times. That count is coming up right there. And from the moment he saw her to the last gunshot, it was just 6 seconds. Well, check your bathroom. That's because mouthwash could be poisonous. That's right. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is now issuing a nationwide recall. Another bill heading to the governor's desk tonight could mean that if someone crashes into you while you're driving and you're not wearing your seatbelt, you might not get as much money from that lawsuit. Well, this week is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, and you may not know this, but eating disorders are actually the second deadliest mental illness behind opioid addictions.
Yeah, I learned that just today.
Well, can we get a little bit of a drum roll, because the Vera Bradley outlet sale is just around the corner, and if you want to score some pretty sweet deals, you'll want to grab your ticket soon. Now, something that was caught on camera, a man in Colorado narrowly escapes being bitten by a massive gator. What? Check this out. It all happened at a gator farm in Moscow, Colorado.
Briana, back to you.
Justin, Beverly, I have maybe the most exciting news that you're ever going to hear.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you ready? Oscar Mayer says it's... Oh, you are so ready to go. Oscar Mayer says it's now accepting applications to drive the Wienermobile.
See you later.
Can you believe that?
If you're here in the Congress or the Senate,
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Briana Byus. You just heard from Indiana Senator Mike Braun telling Fox 55 just last week that he wants to establish a no government shutdown bill. But then, the very next day, he was one of 9 people who voted against the Stopgate bill to prevent a government shutdown. So today, I asked Braun why he voted no. I don't think I've ever seen a baby.
I was going to say, now that I think of it, I don't think I ever have.
I wasn't sure they existed. I thought they just popped up.
Right.
Byus? Frank Byus.
Yeah, I mean,
If it comes with a free hot dog, let's go. Tonight on Fox 55 News, Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is touting new projects and laws to protect children. But will Indiana's ban on gender-affirming care for minors actually make them safer? Hear part of my conversation with Rokita straight ahead. Plus, improving neighborhoods in the Summit City, how a new program aims to do just that by getting the community involved in the process. And the first sign of spring is finally here. We look at the seasonal staple that's bringing frozen goodness to Coventry Road. Fox 55 News First at 10 starts now.
The area's only primetime local newscast. This is Fox 55 News, first at 10.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Briana Byus. My co-anchor, Brian Miller, has the night off. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is now celebrating a ban on gender-affirming care for minors. That law went into effect earlier this week. I sat down with him today to discuss the law, as some throughout the state say it will actually harm transgender children by not allowing them to take hormone treatments or puberty blockers. That law also bans gender transition surgeries for those under the age of 18. But clinician Chris Wise with the Brave Alliance in Fort Wayne says that's an unnecessary law because doctors don't perform the surgeries on minors.
Gender-affirming surgeries are extremely common for minors.
Wise says in 2022, 19% of transgender and non-binary youth tried to commit suicide. He says banning puberty blockers and hormone treatments will only make things worse. But Rokita says kids go through phases, and they shouldn't be able to take those expensive treatments until they're adults. Yeah, this law does ban gender transition surgeries for minors. Is that something that was happening in the state of Indiana?
Well, I'll tell you, some deny that it's happening, but you know, how do we know? Well, let's say not one surgery was done in the state of Indiana. It doesn't mean the state of Indiana still can't have a law prohibiting it.
Or decided not to.
Now, that's just a small piece of my interview with Rokita today. I'll share more of our conversation this coming Monday, and you can watch it on air on First at 10. Well, involving the people of Fort Wayne in neighborhood planning and development. It's one of the city's biggest goals for 2024, and leaders are now kicking it off with a new interactive website that launched this week. The site is called Engage Fort Wayne, and it provides information about current and future neighborhood and park projects. Visitors can also leave comments and suggestions for certain areas that they would like to see more developed. City leaders say they're striving toward a safer, cleaner, and more sustainable community. They see the program as a team effort between the residents and the city. Well, after temperatures took a little bit of a dip earlier this week, it's nice to see that we're trending upward again. Meteorologist David Tillmans is in the Weather Center with the current conditions.
That's right, Brianna. Details coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, David. Well, a man is dead after a crash in Kosciuszko County this morning. It happened at around 9:30 between County Road 200 and 550. The sheriff sent us these photos from the scene. 34-year-old driver Kevin Harris was hit by another driver when they didn't give him the right-of-way. You can see those cars really messed up there on your screen. Both trucks were pushed off the road and plowed over a stop sign before they finally stopped. Harris died at the scene. A mother and a daughter are free tonight after a man tried to sexually traffic them in Grant County. Police were called to the home on Van Buren this morning shortly after 3:40, and they say Gregory Marsh, up on your screen, or coming up on your screen right now, was keeping both women barricaded inside the home. The sheriff says Marsh met the mom online and that she came to the U.S. on a work visa last year. Both women say Marsh threatened to deport them back to Venezuela as a way to control them. Along with a trafficking charge, Marsh now faces counts of domestic battery, criminal confinement, and voyeurism. And police were called to Miami Middle School earlier this afternoon. Fort Wayne Community School says a student was injured by a pencil, but they got calls reporting a potential stabbing. The district confirms that Miami Middle was never on lockdown and that the student's injuries are not serious. Officials say they're, quote, still getting the details. Well, Fort Wayne police are now looking for some fresh faces to join their team and patrol the Summit City. Applications are open if anyone wants to join the 69th Basic Recruit Class. You can apply until May 31st, and the starting pay, get this, it starts at over $69,000 with benefits. You can also find everything you need to apply through this story on WFFT.com, or just text FWPD to 260-233-9850. You can also get that information anytime, anywhere by using the Fox 55 News app. It's free through your phone's app store right now. Well, Fort Wayne got a little bit of a taste of spring today, literally. Zesto ice cream opened for the season, marking an unofficial start to spring. Zesto on Coventry is a Fort Wayne staple that's fed generations of Hoosiers like you see on your screen right now. Homestead High School senior Ella Emmerich says she's wanted to work at the ice cream shop since she was just a kid. Zesto will be open every day for the rest of the season, and more local locations are set to reopen in the next few weeks. For the love of dogs, it's the newest adoption event from Humane Fort Wayne and Fort Wayne Animal Care and Control. Adoption fees for dogs will be cut in half tomorrow from 1 to 4 p.m. It's not just to give the dogs a forever home, though, but also to put more eyeballs on what some are calling the puppy mill bill. It would redefine care standards for pet stores and breeders and expand regulation on the sale of dogs. That bill is now on the governor's desk tonight, and Fort Wayne shelters are asking him to veto it. Well, coming up after the break, a death-defying rescue caught on camera. Wow, that is an amazing video right there. We'll show you how a driver survived almost falling into the Ohio River. Plus, a Summit City staple is back in town this weekend. We'll tell you what's on tap and when for the Fort Wayne Home and Garden Show. And later, high school basketball players go head-to-head in sectional competition. Justin brings us all the action from tonight's games in the locker room at 10:30.